Hi. So this might be something you never expected to receive from your wedding photographer, but I'm a little bit of a weirdo, and this is something that I find really helpful. It helps me sort of explain to you what to expect from me, and I think it helps that you can hear the tone in my voice and sort of see me as a person. I think it helps the moment that I show up sort of alleviate some of that stranger danger, because especially now with COVID, I'm not meeting a lot of my couples beforehand. You know, the first time we're meeting in real life is on your wedding day when I'm walking through the door. So I think this helps give you an idea of who is about to walk through the door and spend very intimate time with you on your wedding day. So I'm going to try and do this in one take. I'm going to try and be brave. I'm going to take my time. I'm not going to rush. So soon, if you haven't already, you'll be getting a questionnaire from me. You'll be getting an invoice, and also a couple days before the wedding, I send you one final email that sort of serves, I hope, as a reminder of the things that you can be thinking of that will help your photos be genuine and authentic, and that they tell the truth of this day. So upon getting the questionnaire, which I think of as the holy grail of the wedding day for me, it asks a lot of questions about the details and the timing and addresses and phone numbers and things like that, but also some important components in there are questions like, if you were only to have 3 photos of your wedding day and nothing else, what do you hope that those photos would be? Think about that for a sec. Just 3 photos. In thinking about that and in receiving your answers, I now have places to zero in my focus and prioritize, and they tell me what's important to you, and that is the most important thing to me. I want to know what you're most excited about for the wedding. I want to know what photos you're excited to see back, when you get your gallery. I want to know who you're excited to spend time with and see and to be celebrating with. All of that. I want to know all of those things, because all of those things are how I get myself ready to, like I said, tell the truth and see you and your family and your friends in genuine light. Something else that comes up in the questionnaire is a shot list of family portraits. And often when getting that shot list back, I also find in that list, a lot of the standard wedding day photos. So I do like to tell you in advance about that, about the family portrait list and the shot list. So we'll start with family portrait list. Generally, that list is immediate family and grandparents, and we don't usually go beyond that for that very small window of time that we usually have for those portraits. If you have a smaller list and you want to include aunts and uncles and cousins, by all means, the list can be whatever you want it to be. We just have to be realistic with the list, because grouping every group can sometimes take up to 2 to 3 minutes to set it up and get everybody in place so that everybody can be seen. And a lot of times we spend time trying to track down somebody who thought they were done or didn't know they were supposed to be there, and we kill a lot of time. And so that list is super important and super helpful for keeping things organized and keeping a flow. I was going to say something specifically about that. Oh, when setting up the list, the easiest way to do that is to break it down with between both people's families. And then you just use their names when you're making the list. So if it's you and your partner and then your parents and siblings, you would write, couple plus Bob and Jane, Bobby, Timmy, and Sally, And that way, the reason I ask for the names specifically is so that in that moment, I can just say, okay, then in the next photo is gonna be Bob, Jane, Sally, Timmy, and whoever, and they hear their names and they come, rather than having to, say immediate family, cousins, or whatever. It's just helpful to use the names. So when setting that up, just go ahead and do that. Bonus points if you have like a blended family, if you make note of parents, step-parents, step-siblings, and all of that, that's really helpful. But all of that's all in the questionnaire. You don't even need to think about that right now. So we can move on to the shot list. I can't operate from a shot list, not if that shot list includes things like a photo of the bouquet, a photo of a parent zipping the bride into the dress, a photo of the boutonniere being pinned, things like that. Those are unspoken must-haves, will always get. And if there is like a very specific kind of photo that you want, like if you definitely want a photo of if you and your friends getting ready together are wearing cute little robes, and you want a photo pardon me and you guys want a photo set up on a bed, and you're all snuggly and cute and all that stuff, like absolutely, those are photos that I definitely want to know that you want done, but can also be said right in the moment, like, oh, we're getting ready to get into our dresses, let's take a photo of us in our robes. Those kinds of photos just are happening, and what I really want you to know is that when a photographer, at least, I'm just going to speak from my own experience. Every time I would have to refer back to a shot list to make sure that any number of photos is getting taken, every time I have to touch that list, think about that list, go get that list, any of it, I'm missing opportunities for the things that are happening right then, right there. And those, if you've hired me, it is those photos that drew you to me, because those are the photos that I take. I no longer think of myself as a wedding photographer. That is not how I classify what I do for a living. I think of myself as a family historian, my own and others. And my style of work is very much fly on the wall. It is what it is. And so to that is the most important thing that I want to talk to you about, which is your wedding photos do not just happen to you. They are not derived from a shot list. Your wedding photos are born of presence. They are created from being deeply connected to what is happening to you right then. And I think what I'm trying to say is that wedding photos aren't manufactured. They're like living things themselves. I mean, I don't know. What's important is that you get the shot list out of your mind. I've got one. I come armored with one. I mean, I'm of course getting all these candid, beautiful, emotional photos, but I am also very, very aware of those must-have photos when you're getting ready, and the must-have photos at a ceremony, and the must-have photos at a reception. If it's happening, I'm there and I'm seeing it. Does this all make sense? I feel like maybe if I say more, I'm like beating a dead horse. So maybe I'll just pause there and take a sip of this coffee. I don't want you to be afraid of telling me what photos you want. I want to know all of it, which is why we'll have a conversation on the phone, before the wedding, to really hash out the details and to catch up, and for me to ask you some pointed questions about your photographic priorities. And that can happen in an email, generally it's going to happen in the questionnaire, and then we're going to talk about your answers to the questionnaire. I forgot what I was saying right before that. Presents, shot lists. I don't know, maybe that's it. Maybe that's what I have to say right now. I think those are three really important aspects that coming to terms with and letting settle into your bones a little bit, because it might not be a perspective that you had before. And I think a lot of us experience weddings through the experience of others who've done it before us, or we're looking at wedding blogs, and we're Googling frantically so that we don't miss anything. Just remember that at the end of the day, you're going to be married, and it's going to be great, and your wedding is going to be great, and that truly, and not just photographically, but in real time, if you're present, if you're enjoying yourself, if you're letting yourself throw your head back in laughter, and you're not giving a shit how many chins you might have in the photo. Now, granted, okay, I say that, but I also say that I'm very aware of, it's my job to take flattering photos. I'm not gonna, if I wasn't able to take flattering photos of people in certain moments, I wouldn't have a job. So relax about stuff like that too. Okay. I feel like I did 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes too many, and I'm not sure how to cut it out. because I'm technologically impaired. So you might have to just suffer through this if you haven't just turned it off already. Anyway, I hope that this helps, and I so look forward to talking more about all of the details and all of your desires and all of the things, and yeah, and I'll talk to you soon.